Hi friends. Now continuing with our radiopath series where we believe that radiology and pathology are integrated disciplines and they should be learned together, and especially as a even if you're a resident in radiology or a pathology resident or you are an undergraduate medical student, you have to see medicine has a unity where things are actually interlinked together, and usually the diagnosis would be made when you look at things together rather than looking at them in isolation. Today, me and Diksha would be talking about a very important case of plasmacytoma. And we have felt, and I've been discussing with her as well, that in a routine class, we would not reach up to plasmacytoma in discussion. So we thought we'll use this YouTube channel to talk about it. And let's start with the first image of the day. Now, this is a T1 weighted MRI image in front of you. This is a sagittal T1 weighted MRI image of the vertebra. And we are able to see a lesion in the vertebra which is having hypo-intense signal on T1 weighted image. Okay, this hypo-intense signal on a T1 weighted image would be non-specific. You would see similar appearance in metastasis and in plasmacytoma, myeloma. So we have to actually look at other images to make a diagnosis. So when I look at the T2 weighted, image, you can see hyper-intense signal in the vertebra. But the key thing here is, can you see these bony struts? And the interesting thing happens when I look at the same patient on an axial section. So when you take the axial section of the MRI, can you see how those bony struts that we were able to see in the sagittal image are seen here? Now, the interesting part begins now. When I look at this, what is happening is, because this plasmacytoma is a predominantly lytic process, so it destroys the bone, but the bone that remains tries to compensate by thickening of the bony struts. Because of the, it has to compensate, and they become thickened. They are seen like this. And to a radiologist, it looks as if these are the sulci in the brain. So that is why this appearance is called as mini brain sign. And once you see such an appearance, this is considered very, very pathognomonic for plasmacytoma. In many institutes, once you see such an axial MRI in the vertebra, they would not even do a biopsy. But some of them would do a biopsy to actually confirm the diagnosis of plasmacytoma. So reason for this kind of appearance is believed to be probably the less aggressive pattern of growth in plasmacytoma, which is actually some of the bone is left, which is compensatory thickening leading to that mini brain appearance. Now I'll hand over to Diksha to talk about the pathological aspect of this disease.
So first of all, plasmacytoma, as the name suggests, plasmacytoma, it is a tumor of plasma cells. It's monoclonal plasma cells. Now, we usually talk about neoplasms of plasma cells in the terms of multiple myeloma, but this is different because in here we only have a solitary lesion either in the bone or extraosseous. So what we have here, what we're discussing, is a case of a bony solitary plasmacytoma of the bone, and for diagnosis it should consist of monoclonal plasma cells and there should not be any bone marrow involvement. Once bone marrow gets involved, it becomes multiple myeloma. There will be no features of myeloma, namely anemia, hypercalcemia, renal failure. So we read Crabbe symptoms very characteristically of multiple myeloma. Here we only have B, we don't have CRA. It is only a bony lesion. And we always use urine or serum electrophoresis to look for an M protein, which tells us that this is multiple myeloma. We don't have that here. Even if we have that, it will be really low. And when we look at polyclonal immunoglobulins, they will be normal, which helps us differentiate this from osteomyelitis as well. So in front of you is a very schematic photograph of a plasma cell. This is a very typical, beautiful photograph. You can see the plasma cell is a cell which has abundant basophilic cytoplasm, and it has an eccentric nucleus which is said to have a clock face. The chromatin is arranged in spokes, and there is a very prominent perinuclear clearing that we call HOF, which is said to be because of a very prominent Golgi apparatus. Now this is the schematic, and next to it we have put an actual photograph of a plasma cell. This is the nucleus, the clearing, and the basophilic blue cytoplasm. Now here is a histopath photograph of a plasmacytoma. You can see sheets of plasma cells. Even in this you can appreciate how they have an eccentric nucleus. They are pushed toward the edge of the nucleus, and these cells are usually CD38 positive, CD31, 138 positive, and 19 negative. 38 and 138 are plasma cell markers which help us identify them. Here is a binucleate cell right in the center, which again tells us that this could be an abnormal population of plasma cells. And when I do IHC for CD138, it comes positive. You can see beautiful brown color everywhere. So that tells me that this is a plasma cell population. And then I also look for kappa and lambda. And if only kappa is present or only lambda is present, that means it's a monoclonal population.
Okay. Now I think we have now, we'll try to summarize what we've learned today. As far as radiology goes, there is only one line to take home as a message. That is mini brain appearance. Mini brain appearance on an axial section of the vertebra. Think of plasmacytoma. Diksha, what is your message from the summary?
Once you see radiology, you don't really need us. So, but if at all we have to do a biopsy, we need to make sure that there is no other lesion. So that's one thing. And second, laboratory investigations like serum electrophoresis, calcium levels, anemia, all this will tell us that this is not a multiple process, this is just a solitary lesion.
And I would also like to remind the listeners that do follow us on Dam City channel on YouTube for more such videos. If you enjoy our integrated approach to medicine, do write back to us, do comment, do send us some messages. Me, Dr. Sumair, she, Dr. Diksha will be happy to hear back from you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.